answering those questions. And I want this to be a real conversation. I'm sure some folks online are going to ask some questions. We'll answer those too. But nothing's off the table. So ask whatever you want to ask. Before we start, let me just say a couple things. For those who don't know, my name is Chris Jones. I'm the Democratic nominee for Congress here in Arkansas in the 2nd Congressional District. I'll say some more at the end, but I'm in this race because I understand that when you remove barriers and give folks opportunity, they get creative. They come together as community, and they invent things, and they're innovative, and they change lives. So what I've seen over the last 10 years with the person who's in office right now is the opposite of what we need for us to be innovative, creative, and a community together. And that's why I'm in this race, because it's time for that kind of change. But the other reason is there's a young man who's a vendor, and on the top of his pricing sheet, he said, "We have new prices because of Trump's war." These are the things that elected officials are supposed to speak out against and fight against, and our elected officials are not doing that, and that's why I'm running for office, all right? Last thing I'll say before I start to get questions, or I'm going to see if LilRockObama or Nate have anything to say, is that we have voter registration cards. We've already registered some folks to vote. If you're in here and you registered to vote, raise your hand. Yes, give them a round of applause. If you have not registered, then please register. And then I'll talk at the end about these commitment cards for folks who we're asking you to commit to vote. If you haven't registered, commit to registering and committing to vote early. It matters. All right. So that's me.
Say what?
I don't know what you want to say.
Well, appreciate everybody for coming out. My name is Dietrich Elliott. Some people know me as LilRockObama. I'm not a politician. That's just, my name.
I like Dietrich. What does Dietrich mean?
Dietrich, what it means?
Yeah. Come on now. You gotta
That's
have
why I
something.
changed it, Chris.
That's why you changed
Just something
it.
a little bit more meaningful,
Dietrich is strong.
Yeah, I'm a street politician.
Okay, there you go. We
Yeah.
need them.
Yeah, so I'm over the Real Underground radio station. We're a media platform here in Little Rock. Chris came and he did an interview with us 3 weeks ago.
Yep.
And this is what we came up with, this big bright idea of, hey, let's do a town hall and introduce the people to what's going on, get them more familiar with it. Yeah, come on in. So that's a little spiel about me. Some of the people that work with me, Nate Logic, he has a show on my podcast platform. DJ Joe G has a show. Cousin P is his co-host. The show comes on the Real Underground radio station. We have an app, a website, Facebook, YouTube. You can find us, just Google us. But my first question for you, Mr. Chris Jones, would be, what is your why? What is your reason? Why do you want to be, what's your motivation? Why do you want to do this?
Yeah. Thank you. Some voices don't get heard because they don't have a platform, and the Real Underground Railroad is giving a platform to voices to be heard. So thank you all for giving a platform for voices to be heard. My why is really three things. Number one, I have 3 daughters. They are 17, 13, and 9. And I will take a bullet any day of the week and twice on Sundays for them. And I will give a bullet for them, to be clear. They are my everything, along with my beautiful wife of 23 years. So I want to create a world where they can face challenges and it not be the end, where they can try things and still feel like there is an opportunity for them. So that's what I want to create. The second thing is, man, I firmly believe that God put each of us on this planet for a reason. And for me, one of my reasons is I love to help other people reach their potential. And I feel like in this state and in this district, we have not reached our potential in large part because of the decisions other people are making. And you know, the third thing is I love community, man. I love. I've been in community. I've been a community organizer. I love being in community, engaging with folks, and seeing the growth that people can have, and seeing how people can be changed. That's my why.
I like that. And if anybody, if y'all can, we are broadcasting right now on our Facebook page. If the people that couldn't make it, shout out to everybody that's watching live. Make sure y'all hit that share button. If y'all can, go to our Facebook page, The Real Underground Radio, and hit the share button so more people can see what's being talked about. The Real Underground Radio. Hit the share button. Let everybody know to tune in.
This might be the first town hall in a restaurant.
Shout out to Little Rock Chicken.
There you go.
Pancakes.
There you go. And that's also, this is awesome. And the chicken's gonna be coming, y'all. It's good.
So what we can do is we can pass this mic around and give everybody a chance, or whoever wants to speak, a chance to ask any questions, have any concerns. So who wants to start? Yeah.
But it might help for the people on the live stream. Yeah. See, there you go. You're welcome. Now this is gonna be a press question. I'm just kidding.
I'd say in about 4, maybe 8 more years, would you consider running for governor again?
See. So y'all know I ran for governor in 22. Some of the things that we're experiencing now, a push for prisons that are private prisons, taking public education money and giving it to private schools and whatnot, all those things we said were going to happen. The short answer is yes. The longer answer is, people ask me, why did I run for Congress and not for governor? Because, you know, governor does some real tangible things in the state. We're in a point in this world now where Congress is the front line. And Congress is where the fight really is. And if we want to stop the prices of gas and groceries and housing and healthcare going through the roof, if we want to stop the elimination of voting rights, if we want to stop ICE coming in and going into communities and shooting people in broad daylight, if we want to stop or at least put a pause on these data centers that are coming in we don't have an understanding of, we're going to need new leadership in Congress. So that's why I'm running for Congress now, but the short answer is I am open to anything in the future.
Do you think, or do you regret that you didn't run for Congress the first time?
No.
Was it a learning experience or what?
Yeah, because I learned so much. Number one, I'm a firm believer in pursue your passion. Like if there's something that you really care about, you deeply care about. I've wanted to be governor since I was 8 years old. Because at the age of 8, I met the then Governor Bill Clinton. And I met him in the mall here in Little Rock. We're from Pine Bluff. He drove me to Little Rock. Pine Bluff. There you go. We love Pine Bluff. And my dad brought me up here to the mall, and we bumped into Bill Clinton. And we're talking to him, and I'm like super impressed. And I got his name, but I said, Dad, well, what does he do? My dad said, he's a governor. And I said, what's a governor? Now, you all can pull out your phone and look it up. You can ask Siri, you can get ChatGPT, Google. We didn't have that. So he said we had to go all the way back home, and I had to look at the Encyclopedia Britannica. See, some of y'all young folks don't even know what that is. Yeah, and I'll tell you this, we happen to have G, because a lot of us didn't have the whole set, and we didn't have the whole set. We did not have but we had G, and I found out that a governor could solve problems and make a difference in people's lives. So even though I went into science, physics, math, nuclear engineering, NASA, I always wanted to come back home and serve. So I am very glad I did it. Number one, I became the first African-American major party nominee for governor in the history of the state. And that's major. Number two, I could show my girls that it's okay to pursue your dreams. And actually, pursuing your dreams doesn't mean you absolutely have to get there or accomplish it. And number three, I got to go over the whole state and meet so many different kinds of people. I learned so much, and I think I grew a lot. And last thing I'll say is, if I hadn't run for governor, it would be harder for this to be a race that we can win right now. And this race right now is one that we can win.
All right, next, anybody else?
Y'all not shy.
Just raise your hand. All right, all right. Miss Potential Alderman.
You sure? Come on.
Potential Alderman.
There you go. Get it done.
Okay, so I live in Southwest.
Yeah.
I'm running for Ward 2 City Board seat.
And
to
thank
try
you for
and
stepping up to
save
run.
Southwest, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I have been the Chico Neighborhood Association president for a long time. And I'm going to tell you one thing, and that is housing.
Yeah.
There are other states and cities that have notices of compliance. And I know that we're never going to get a governor that's going to say, give us the rental laws.
We sure about that? Never?
Not unless you get in there.
Okay, all right.
But the other one?
The current one, no.
No. So I want to try to do it by city. And I just want to ask you, is there anything that you think that you can do to try to make, because I'm just going to tell the truth. Little Rock is being run by out-of-state LLCs.
Yeah.
They're abandoned.
Yeah.
They don't live here, could care less.
Yep.
If you send out the letter to the strip club next door, they don't live here. They never send it back. Strip club shows up. Everybody say, how'd the strip club get there? They sent the letter out.
They sent
Nobody
that out, exactly.
went down there, City Hall, strip club got there. So we're going to have to, I don't know how to say it.
Now, some of the folks in here are okay with the strip club, but we're gonna,
and I might be too,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
not next door. to
Not
me.
next door, exactly.
There
There
you go. So stop it. So I seriously think we have really got to do something about housing.
Yeah.
Because a lot of homelessness can be prevented
oh, easily.
seriously. So that's
Totally
my
agree.
thing, housing.
So, 100% agree. And in fact, when you have the safety of a roof over your head, it changes everything. To me, it's a basic safety that allows us to actually then live life. When you don't have the safety of and the surety of a roof over your head, it's hard to live life. I think three things. One, Arkansas is the only state in the nation that does not have something called an implied writ of habitability. What it means is, essentially, if you rent a place from me, there are minimum standards I have to have. If I have a holes in the floor and rats running around and mold on the wall, then I have to fix it. Every other state in the nation requires the owner to fix it, not Arkansas. That's a problem. So number one, we can fix that. Why not make it a national federal law that everybody has to have it? Every other state has already done it, so Arkansas could be the one to go ahead and finally do that. That's number one. Number two, this whole idea of they call them institutional investors. So big companies, LLCs, often on Wall Street, often just trying to use the housing as an exchange. What they've done is they'll come in, they'll buy up housing in a neighborhood, and they'll just sit on it sometimes. Now, since we have time, I'll tell y'all a little bit, one thing that a lot of people don't know. One of the first organizations I ever ran, I started as a volunteer, and then I was on the board, and then I ran it, was something called Dudley Street Neighborhood Initiative. And that organization was founded because of the issue you're talking about. Because there were absentee landlords, homeowners, that would literally set fire to their homes so they can collect insurance.
And bring the rest of the property
Right.
down around it.
So I don't see why we can't put the kibosh on some of these institutional investors. Now, if you're a big corporate individual and you want to buy a housing complex and you want to rent it out and you have minimum standards, that's different from you coming in and buying a whole bunch of houses in a neighborhood, not taking care of that neighborhood. Sometimes the value goes down, and so now you can clear it out and rebuild high-end housing. We shouldn't allow that. So housing matters a lot. And if you go back, one of the reasons that we had the financial crisis when Obama got elected was because of housing. All right, long answer, but
To piggyback kind of,
Piggyback.
she's running for Southwest Ward 2.
yeah,
Okay, put some respect on it.
there you go. Get it
I
right.
made a post today
Uh-oh.
from your interview when we interviewed you.
Yeah,
I took a clip out of it, and the question was, the concern was about the Southwest neighborhood.
Yeah.
And it was asking, how did a predominantly black neighborhood, which is Southwest, become run by the Hispanic community, rather it from being lack of knowing how to manage or get opportunities to own these places. So what would be your input or opinion, or you already kind of answered it on the show, but for the people, a lot of people in the comments had different ideas on why this happened, how they can help, how they can fix it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So what is your take on Southwest? And it's a predominantly black neighborhood, but we don't own anything. Not saying there's nothing wrong with the Hispanic community owning it if they had the knowledge and know-how and the money to do it, but if we didn't have the knowledge, know-how, the money, and the means to do it, what do you say to those people?
Yeah, well, so I'm gonna give you two things. First, I'm real careful about speaking on things that I don't know about. I don't know the whole history of housing and economic transition in Southwest from black to Hispanic. I know some parts of it, but I don't know enough to speak intelligently. What I will do is I'll read about it, I'll learn, and I'll have an informed conclusion because I don't want to speak out of turn. So I don't know. What I would also say though is I am against predatory practices. I am for providing opportunities, particularly in neighborhoods that have been neglected, that have food deserts, healthcare deserts, where you can't find healthy food for miles. You can't find healthy healthcare or good healthcare for miles. I'm against that. That's what I can say. But again, I don't know the full history to be able to speak intelligently on it. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Now, if somebody here knows, they want to tell us, that's different.
Somebody got a solution, an answer?
So, excuse me. So I'm more curious about, you spoke about food deserts.
Yeah.
And I believe we're actually in a food desert right now in this part. I don't think there's a grocery store within probably a 5 mile, or no, probably about a 3 or 4 mile radius of where we are right now. Once you win, what are some of your plans to eliminate some of the food deserts and inconsistencies for our community? Because a child can't go to school and learn if they're hungry.
Right, 100%. And there are far too many folks. Thank you for registering. Y'all take care. There are. Let me pick up on what you said. And kids walk out. I was a 9th grade algebra teacher. So I taught. My mom just celebrated 48 years of teaching. Now, I don't care how much. Yes. Clap for her. I don't care how good the teacher is. If you are hungry, now let's think about it. Adults that are hungry can't think straight at work. That's why it's mandatory. You have a lunch break. So if you're not fed, then you can't think. And if you can't think, you can't learn. 100%. Here's what I believe in terms of the food deserts. Number one, we need to fund programs that actually feed kids. This current administration and French Hill voted to cut SNAP benefits. SNAP benefits are what go to feed folks that are hungry. And so we have, fortunately, say what? Cut WIC too? Yeah, exactly. All that is a policy decision that they made, and I certainly would vote the opposite way. The other is the Farm Bill. Farm Bill is a huge bill that goes to provide supports to farmers, but what people don't realize is it's not just about farmers. That's critical. But that is where there's an opportunity to say, let's make sure that there's a pathway from farm to school. We got a lot of local farmers here. And let's make sure that we can get food from the farm to our schools. Let's invest and create programs where kids learn how not only to farm, but how do you distribute that and how to get it into their classrooms or into the schools. And that's a policy decision. So as congressman, I would certainly vote for things like that.
All right, I got a question for you, Mr. Jones.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And they got
So-
food coming out too. So those of you all who are online, you're missing out. Probably smell it.
I already told him. Listen, my question is, so again, like D-Dirt said, we had an interview with you a few weeks ago.
Yeah. Appreciate y'all for that.
You kind of enlightened me on some things because prior to then, I really wasn't interested in politics.
Yeah.
This is actually my first town hall meeting in life.
Congratulations.
So my question is for people who are kind of like me, uneducated in the lane of politics. Can you give me something and the people something who are uneducated why they should be paying attention and participating?
I appreciate that. And I'm glad you said uneducated because a lot of times we want to, if folks don't know, people call them stupid or ignorant or, I mean, you're ignorant to the politics. But there's nothing wrong with you. Because here's the reality. I pick my daughters up. I drop my daughters off at school. I pick them up. They forget stuff. I take it back to school. I take them to practices and all that. So and there's work, and there's family. And there are a million things we go through all the time. A lot of times politics, we think it doesn't impact me. So I can be checked out and live my life and let somebody else handle that. But the problem is it actually does impact us. If you're concerned about the roads you drive along because they have too many potholes in it, that's politics. If you're concerned about your school and having the funding for your school, for your teachers, that's politics. If you're concerned about being a small business owner, a small media company, then the reason that politics matters is because people make decisions about which small businesses get support and which ones don't. They make decisions about which small businesses get support and which ones don't. That's politics. Even down to prisons. Politics is who decides where a prison goes, who decides if someone goes in for rehabilitation or for lifelong detention and really enslavement. That's politics. The politicians are making those decisions. And so I say, politics is really every aspect of your life. And whether you choose to be engaged in it or not, it is engaged in your life. And so I would much rather be involved in the decisions that impact me than have somebody I don't know make those decisions for me. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Now look. So one thing I'll say too. Some people make the argument, which is true, that we fought for these rights. Our ancestors bled and died for these rights. 100% true. It's also true that a lot of folks are like, wait a minute, that was a long time ago, even though it wasn't. But what you cannot deny is that right now it costs over $4 for gas. That right now eggs cost more. That right now somebody that's trying to start a small business is like, wait a minute, what I use to make my product, to make snacks and chicken and pancakes, and it costs way more than it did before. So now I either have to pass that cost along to my customers or I have to eat it up myself. That's real. And if we were not in this war in Iran, then the costs wouldn't be as high as they are right now. That's why folks need to be involved.
One of the main problems in our community is individuals getting out of prison and not being able to get jobs, not being able to get apartments in their names, and a lot of other issues. What would you do to tackle that job or that problem up in D.C.?
Yeah. I mean, so I feel like that question, and y'all feel free to get up and once they get set, feel free to get up and get some wings and stuff. I feel like that question has actually kind of been answered a little bit, because if you're a convicted felon and you can be president, then surely you can work at McDonald's. I mean, it just, and that's politics. Right? Because if you have done your time, if you have paid the price for your crime, then why shouldn't we welcome you fully back into society? Because what happens is when we don't do that, people have to have food, people have to have shelter. And if I can't get it the quote unquote right way, I'm gonna get it some way. Period. So why not create an environment where, you know what? You did your time, did it right, come on back in. And another place I worked, we had a campaign to ban the box. So, why again, if you can be president of the United States, why can't you work at McDonald's? Why can't you get a house? So, last thing I'll say on that is that we have to start asking ourselves, what kind of society do we want to have? Instead of letting people determine what kind of society we will have. They want us divided. They want black folks and Hispanics and whites in whole different categories. They want Jews and Christians in different categories. They want people who were raised with some good money, people who were raised with no money, fighting against each other. They want farmers fighting against, folks in the city. What are we doing? When we come together, that's number one, how we get to King's beloved community. But number two, I think, is how we make a better society and actually give opportunity for everyone. All right, next question?
Okay, so I wanted to know, what policy can you help create? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yep.
What policy can you help create or enact, to help the people that's on the streets already? Markham is filled with homeless people already, right? Every time you go up and down the street, they're literally sleeping on the street.
Yep.
What can be created as a resource for that, additional to what we have already that is not enough, which can, we don't even have access to mental health really.
No.
So I think that's a big part of the people on the street homeless. And it affects the community, it affects everyone in the whole when we have that many people on the street. So what can you, as a politician, do for our community?
Yeah. Well, look, when you and I see a question over here. When you spend $2 billion a day on a war that nobody wants, then it seems as though you then don't have the resources to address mental health, drug addiction, drug abuse issues. But those are the issues that actually need to be, that's the root cause. They need to be addressed. That's like the base. You deal with that. There are programs here now and programs around the country where people actually are providing a pathway from homelessness to housing. One example, we have a couple of examples in this district. The Conway, C-O-H-O, City of Hope. City of Hope in Conway, and then Providence Park here. They're tiny homes. So, and I've seen where people have taken shipping containers and created homes, but these are tiny homes, small enough for you to exist, but then you bring people into the community. They have a tiny home, but now you have job placement services, you have mental health services, you have healthcare services, so they can take care of their healthcare needs. Make sure they get to the barber and beauty shop. These are examples of models that are happening on the ground that the federal government should be investing in. Because now, instead of having 100 people that are homeless, I have 100 people in homes that have an address that they can put on their job application form. Because if I'm homeless because I don't have money, but to get a job, I need an address, but I don't have a home, so I can't get a job. Like, it's a spiral that we have to get out of. But tiny homes is one example of an investment that we can make.
But see, y'all speaking about homelessness, I don't know if y'all seen the thing recently with Arlo and People's Trust Bank. It's people in homes becoming homeless. And they trying to put it on, say, Arlo, but HUD and the housing people are the ones who give the money to him to distribute. So we talking about people in the streets homeless. It's people in homes about to be homeless.
Right. And then I see a question over here, right? And then, so part of it is we politicize stuff way too much. Meaning HUD should be doing their job. they should they should have released the funding. And it's Congress's job. So, for those who don't know, Congress, House, and Senate. Every state has 2 senators, and every state has a number of House of Representatives members, depending on how large your state is. So California has a ton, Arkansas has 4, and we're in the 2nd congressional district. Job number 1 of the Congress is to put a check on the other 2 branches. We know they're failing at their job on that. Job number 2 is to be the investigative body. So when something happens, they should investigate. Now, I'll tell you, the guy I'm running against, French Hill, he came down, did a hearing for the housing authority here. You should investigate, but not when it's election time and it's 5 years after they've already started fixing the problem. When it happens, you should investigate and make a change. So HUD was out of line. HUD should have been investigated, and now it's a ripple effect. And so I go back to what you were saying, why does it matter? Well, if Congress made sure that the executive branch, HUD, was doing their job, then money would have been released as it should. The housing authority would have been where it needed to be in terms of doing its job, and folks would have been able to remain in their homes. Congress doesn't do its job, it ripples all the way down. So that's why I said earlier, Congress is the front line. Okay. And y'all really should get some chicken wings. We can talk and eat. I'm from Pine Bluff. We do. Look.
And speaking of Congress being on the front lines, do you see the value in voting based on your conscience or based on representing your constituents in the off chance that they may differ?
I think it's both.
Both?
Right. So the question is like, do I vote what I firmly believe, or do I vote what the people in the district are telling me to do? I think it would be my responsibility to be connected to the people in the community and say, if you disagree with me, I need to convince you why it's important. And if you still aren't convinced, and you still aren't convinced, and you still aren't convinced, and you still aren't convinced, then I'm not doing my job, or I'm wrong. And it's okay to be wrong. So I think it's both and. But it doesn't work unless we have an open lines of communication. Hold on one second. Would you get this? Yeah, that's my daughter calling. I think she's done with her hair appointment. Oh, Lord, it's early.
Hey, Chris, I'm
Yes,
one
sir.
of the guys that was in Southwest when
Say, look, good.
I'm one of the guys that was in Southwest.
Yeah.
Piggyback with LilRockObama.
Oh, good.
When Southwest was predominantly the Chenal. Southwest used to be the Chenal of Little Rock. It's where all the businesses was.
Yep.
It was the place where the people so-called uppity had money at. Once we start moving over, they start moving out. To piggyback with us, we had a program where we was feeding the kids. We had a program where we was helping people whose houses wasn't being fixed, or people that was living in the pines and couldn't pay their rent because the landlords and stuff wasn't dealing with them and wasn't trying to get stuff done. During that time, we called down to the city mayor office. We couldn't get nobody to respond to us. Call. We went down, and the answer was, oh, they're busy.
Yeah.
When are you going to address the people? So from therefore, we didn't know where else to go past that. So my question is, once we've tried to go down to the city, and the city is not responding to us, who do we go to next? Because I was in that era, and there's still some brothers around here who try to feed the kids, that try to reach out. But the police department marked those guys. And I'm just being real. When they're out feeding these people and they're out trying to help homeless, they watch their vehicles, they get their tax numbers, they start pulling them over, they start harassing them. So when we're trying to do that in our neighborhood, we don't want you pulling us over the next day trying to figure out who we were, because we're trying to take care of our community. So my question really is, who do we go to when they're not answering us downtown?
Yeah.
Because I'm one of the ones that went down to ask to speak to the mayor, and we never got a response. And I'm talking about for months we did it and never got a response. So once we ask that, where do we go next when they're not responding to us?
Yeah, and I mean, my belief, you go everywhere from the beginning, right? Now, some might say, go to the mayor, then go to the city council, go to the county judge and the quorum court people, then go to your state rep, then go to the governor, then go to the congressman, which is fine, right? If you have that time, you can do that. But everyone in that chain, from the senator to the congressman to the governor to lieutenant governor, the justice of the peace, the ward lead, what do they call? Alderman, yes. City board. Every one of them works for you. You're the boss. So I think you should feel comfortable going to any one of them and all of them at the same time and saying, like, look, this either this ain't working, or I'll let you know, state rep, that I'm going to the mayor and I'm gonna keep you posted, and if the mayor doesn't respond the way I need the mayor to respond, I'm coming back to you to do something. Or city director, so on and so forth. So I think the answer is you go to all of them because all of them work for you. You go to all of us because all of us work for you. Yeah.
All right. I have another question here.
So we saw your how accessible you were as a candidate when you were running for governor, and we're seeing how accessible you are in this race. Will you keep that if you are elected? And also, second question, every person I've met in Little Rock, when asked, does not approve of the AI data center. So who is responsible for that? Who do we petition in regards to that?
Yeah. So the short answer to the first question is yes, I will be accessible. And look, people ask what's the first thing I want to do, and I got a list of policies that matter, but really the number one thing, the first thing to do is to build the most engaging and accessible constituency services department team that this district has ever seen. Because I do believe that at the heart of it is that folks are not being heard, folks are not being seen, folks are not being engaged. So that's where you start. Look, there is no reason why we shouldn't have a moratorium on the data center. No reason. There are way too many questions that are unanswered. The impact of what happens is enormous. So you got to get it right. And a couple things I'll tell you. One, I think that the people most impacted by decisions must be at the table when decisions are made. So if that's my rule, we look at what's happened with the data centers, that wasn't the case. Pretty simple to me, you gotta hold off. Why? Because y'all are the bosses. The other thing is the impact of those data centers. Some things we know, some things we don't know. We know enough to know that, hold on, we have a lot of unanswered questions. Now, I'm a tech guy. I'm for development, innovation. I'm all for that. I also think you have to do it right. I've been doing work in South Arkansas for the last 4 years, because I don't know if you all know, but Arkansas sits on one of the largest lithium mines in the world. Lithium is in your cell phones. It's in electric vehicles. So it's an important commodity, and it's in South Arkansas. Well, we've been working for the last 4 years to help develop a model so that, yeah, you can have lithium mines, but you cannot be extractive. You cannot just take from communities. You have to put something back into the community to let the community grow. And so we've done that work, and the same should be here with the data centers. Because at the end of the day, somebody is going to pay the price, and somebody is going to get the benefits. It's just that simple. So if I'm gonna pay the price, I should get the benefits as well.
So, piggybacking off of the data center, right before I came here, I seen a post on Facebook of a guy, I think it was Mike Poe. He was standing next to the Riceville Sweet Home sign, and he was saying they got a meeting tomorrow in Wrightsville about the data center, and he was encouraging everybody to come speak up about it, and they're concerned about it because they live there, and he was saying some facts about what would happen if the data center came there. Like he was saying the temperature, not just in that area, would rise. I didn't even know this. The temperature would rise like 15 to 16 degrees in the entire area. That was crazy to me.
Well, let me get on that point real quick. Then can I say something about that?
Go ahead.
Everybody has their cell phone. Right now, your cell phone is probably warm. Imagine putting 10 million cell phones together. And now you see why temperature is going.
And then he spoke about the increase. Like a lot of people don't know that the data. They don't know when they're using ChatGPT is using water. People are like, hold up, it's using water. They don't understand the significance of it. So he was mentioning about the price of electricity and water going up. So and then when you was on the show, you had some good points about. You were saying you do nuclear science. With nuclear, you can do good with it, you can do bad with it. Just like with AI, you can do good with it, you can do bad with it. And then with AI, you had mentioned that like in China, or what was it, somewhere?
Japan, I think it's
Japan, they got like, I call it AI civil rights. You know, you can't take a job away due to like AI.
Right.
And do you foresee these type of things, or can you push? How do we go about handling AI? How do we push against it? Like they having this meeting out here. People are having meetings behind closed doors about AI. How do we go about fighting back against the machine?
You got to keep speaking up. You got to keep showing up. You have to elect different people. Because here's the deal. You know, AI is built on our data and information. It's built on our intelligence. So AI is built on our intelligence, and yet we don't get anything for it. Now, to your point about, the other thing I'll say actually real quick about why it's important for all of us to get involved and continue to speak up and show up at whether it's a protest or a meeting or write letters, talk about it online. It's critical because what happens to one of us actually does happen to all of us. And, you know, they say injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. We talked earlier about Franklin County and the prison. And when I did a town hall in Franklin County with a y'all know I'm a Democrat. I mean, party doesn't really matter in the sense of it's about the problem. But I stood next to a very conservative Republican, and we were on the same page about this Franklin County prison ain't it. But one of the things I said to folks there was that, look, we are asking people to come and help you fight this fight in Franklin County. There will come a time when you need to come and help other people fight the fight in Franklin, and it's not in Franklin County. And it was like, hey, we think rural and urban should be divided, but it shouldn't. We have to fight together. So I think showing up, because this thing is big. We underestimate what's coming with AI. It is big both from a opportunity standpoint. You can take your small business, and now you can do things that normally would take 20 people to do. Like so you can grow your small business like crazy. Your media company, fundamentally transformed by AI. At the same time, the notion that we could eliminate 10, 20, 30% of jobs potentially, what do we do? So there's some folks, you know, Bernie Sanders, for example, he's saying, well, look, if my data and information went to build this company, then I have sweat equity in the company. I have a share, a stake in the company, because some of what was mine is now a part of the company. So I should get stock in the company. Makes sense to me. If I ask you to work for 4 months straight to help me build a house that I'm going to eventually sell, wouldn't you expect to get some of that? That's right. So AI is similar in that why can't we take the biggest AI companies and say, all right, well, you all need to give some of your stock to the people. And then now you give some of that stock to the people, and we can invest in schools. We can invest in small businesses. We can invest in eliminating food deserts. We have somebody that just last week became the first trillionaire in the history of humanity. Off of our tax dollars, off of our back, off of our knowledge, with huge subsidies, which are our tax dollars. So what do we get in return for that? And to me, the question goes back to, again, what kind of society do we want to live in? Do we want to live in one where a 4-year-old and a 9-year-old will show up at school with an empty belly, expected to learn something, but they're in a building that has mold on it and holes in the floor? While we have somebody that's literally a trillionaire, there's no way he can spend all that money. Thank y'all for coming. Make sure you get some chicken and fish. There's no way he can spend all that money. Now, I don't begrudge anyone doing your thing. Be in the capitalist market, start your business, grow your business. What I don't like is crony capitalism. What I don't like is cheating capitalism. What I don't like is when we have a system that doesn't require you to invest back in the community. And right now we don't have that. And I think AI, the reason I keep harping on AI is because I think we're at a fundamental shift in this world that will make the move from horse and buggy to car seem like tiny potatoes. What the shift we are experiencing right now is going to make every other shift we had seem like tiny, tiny potatoes, like nothing. So we, the people, should be a part of receiving the benefits of that, or else we're going to be in trouble. That's why you got to vote Chris Jones for Congress. There you go. There you go.
One of the biggest concerns that I know that we have, that I have for Little Rock, Palm Bluff, Arkansas, period, are disconnected youth. Yeah. That's between young men or young women between the ages of 16 that are 24 that are completely disconnected from the system. They're not working. They're not in school. They're couch surfing. However, they tend to be have some of the most hazardous lifestyles. Yeah. Those are the ones who have negative impacts with the police. Yep. Those are the ones that are, for whatever reason, we seem to are being unalived the most. Yep. And so what are your thoughts, and what do you think we can do, or what will you do once you're in office to help with this problem?
Yeah. It's a real problem. I think it's one that's grown. It's been there. Because when I was, I've been mayor before. I was the mayor of the Pine Bluff Youth Council. I still got my little gavel and everything. Why are you laughing at me? That was a legit position. I got elected. I was see. But one of the things that was a big issue for us even then was opportunities for young folks, so that they wouldn't be couch surfing. At the same time, I think there are a lot of programs that actually are working. So we need to, again, invest in those programs. You know, there is no reason why the Underground Railroad. I keep saying railroad. There you go, radio. There you go. I thought you were LilRockObama. There you go. When I think about the connection you all have to the community, Now, again, there are grants available for radio stations, media stations, and things. Why aren't you all getting support to grow what you're doing? Because I'd rather see you all talking to folks and getting them off the couch than some of the fools that we have trying to talk to them. So I think we just fundamentally invest in what works, and we know some stuff that works. Again, part of the problem is the people most impacted by those decisions are not at the table when decisions of where the resources go are made. They're not. Because has anyone ever asked any of you, has any congressman ever asked any of you, how do you actually fix that particular problem? So, yeah. And I'll say one other thing on that. With all of this, I would always start by bringing people together and having a real conversation to try to understand what the problem is, clear about what I know and what I don't know, and find out who to pull in. And once we pull the right people in, then we go. Here? Did you have a question? Oh yeah, what's up?
Okay, so we got a big crime problem here.
Yeah.
But we also got a big, police harassment and, a lot of stuff going on with that. You know what I'm saying? What is your plan on, stopping that, like, in this area? You know what I'm saying? We get a whole lot of police harassments, and now we got social media pages that everybody is seeing how these police is not trained, how they operating and everything. You know what I'm saying? We see innocent people still going to jail, and it seems like the people in those same, working those same buildings, put a blind eye to it. Now we got a person who, was outside and got a disorderly conduct when we can clearly see that it wasn't a disorderly conduct, but now he got a felony charge, he got a felony on his record.
Exactly.
And he's got to depend on a public defender who sits at the same, eats lunch with these guys, and they don't represent us, you know what I'm saying, like they're supposed to.
Right.
So, to stop that, you know what I'm saying, what is your, now that they got qualified immunity, there's no problem with them beating somebody up outside, because half the people don't even understand qualified immunity and how to challenge qualified immunity.
Yeah.
And we know people that we walk around that stay next door to us that works in those same buildings where those people are making those laws. So what are going to be, what do you plan on putting in place, because it seems like as we get to knowing, they stumping us with extra laws and rules and regulations. So, what I'm saying, what do we do about, how do you stop somebody that from driving and that police officer pull him out the car, it's on his body cam and everything, and that young man can't afford a lawyer or anything.
Right.
Public defender is not going to represent him like he's supposed to, is going to have him cop out on a plea deal.
Yep.
Now this young man has 5 years probation for something that he didn't even do. This police officer didn't even operate the stop correctly, now that, and he gets, we see him tomorrow at the same job doing that to a same individual, posting it on social media again.
Yeah, no, real good. I mean, it's a spiral, right? Like a domino. Qualified immunity, I'm with you. Like, we need to get rid of that. Like, people need to be held accountable.
If we're not challenging the qualified immunity,
yeah.
How do we stay protected with them being protected by their qualified
immunity? Right. I mean, no, I totally agree. So here's how I would approach it, and then I'll see y'all. Here's how I would approach it, man. And what I'm trying to keep in mind, too, is there's the federal role and there's a state and local role. One of the problems, I think, is that I go back to we aren't investing enough in communities in an authentic way. And to me, part of investing in communities is we do need community policing in the sense of if an officer is actually from the community and understands the community and has a relationship with the community. Another part of it is you raised, we don't have enough resources for public defenders. And that, their caseload is, like you said, thousands of folks. They don't have time. They meet you for the first time, not you. They meet someone for the first time at trial. That is a function of where we invested our resources. Like we're not investing resources to provide high quality representation for all of us. So that to me is a federal issue, how we make sure that in our districts we have the right resources to have the representation that you need. Then the other thing is that we are incentivized to get a plea. We're incentivized to run people through a factory. We got to break that, some people call it the prison industrial complex. At the end of the day, we get more and more prisons, we get more and more detention centers, and really what it becomes is a workforce. Because it's a workforce development program because they can build a prison, and now you got free labor. So I think we have to also break that. Because as long as there's a benefit to me forcing you to get a plea deal, then I'm going to do it. Either the benefit is I'm so tired because I'm exhausted and I need to get this off my plate, or actually I get some other kind of kickback. So I think we have to break that up as well. Yeah.
Hello. Okay. Be patient with me.
All right.
We
got patience.
Question. So I'm also new at getting into understanding politics.
Good.
Last year, I graduated. The city's cohort is called Rock Academy, and it teaches you about the local government.
Nice.
Totally changed my life.
Nice.
So still learning about that, so now I am here.
Yeah.
And I am listening to you. My experience in Rock Academy, I was a part of an amazing class, different ages, races. We're all intelligent in our own ways. We have accolades, all of this. But what I realized is the more urgent something is for our well-being, the more simpler the information needs to be that we receive so that we can understand not only who we're voting for, but what we're actually voting for. We had a lesson during those 6 to 8 weeks where literally everything was explained to us like we were 5-year-olds, and we all in the class realized that we voted against something that we should have voted for. So my question to you is, and I've been listening to everything that you're saying, and I feel like you've answered part of what I'm going to ask you, answering other questions. But imagine this is a room of 5-year-olds. Can you explain to me and us what Congress is?
Yeah.
What is a congressman? Because we hear what you can do, what you want to do, and I believe in what you're saying, but some of the same things that you say, I hear other people say that. I've heard the mayor say it in other positions. Not that y'all are lying, but we don't know in what context to place what you're saying. Yeah, all of us, we work for y'all. We hear that from everybody. But because we don't know necessarily what your specific job is or what this means, we don't know how to apply that. So what is Congress? What is a congressman? And then what is your plan to, I guess, diversify your language when you're talking to different groups of people? How you explain something to me may not be understood in the same way to this next person, but this is urgent, right? And people need to understand why this is urgent, what it means on the basic level, no matter how smart you are, so that we can vote right. So what is Congress? What is a congressman? And then what are you doing within your own campaign to make sure that all levels of understanding understands what you're trying to do for us?
Wow. That was loaded, but good. And I'm gonna answer the second question, and then I'm gonna ask you to answer the first question. Then I'm gonna answer it after I ask you to answer it. Okay. On the second question, So, I'm clear that I have a lane, right? Like, I grew up in Pine Bluff. So I didn't grow up in Little Rock or LA or, Boston, or I didn't. So that's a different experience. I'm also a black man. I didn't grow up a white man. I didn't grow up a woman. So I understand a lane that I have. and I can appreciate, like I can get certain things. I also understand the lane I'm not in. And so that's why here, I talked to Nate and was like, hey, let's have a conversation. Because there are folks that you can get to that I can't get to. That we talked about it on your show. There are folks that you can get to that I can't get to. So part of my job is to, over time, bring more people in and then have you all represent me, take me places that maybe I wouldn't be able to get to otherwise. So that's on the campaign side. Now let me get you to answer that first part, and then I have an answer for it.
Okay.
Yeah. What is Congress?
And what is a congressman?
Uh-huh.
To be honest, hey, camera, I do not know.
Ooh,
and when I say that I don't know, I can't spit out a definition.
Yeah.
Now, I can tell you from what you were saying tonight, I've heard we're on the front lines.
Yeah.
I've heard we investigate.
Yeah.
I heard you say something to the effect of that you may be or that you would be somewhat over the governor.
It's different.
Kinda,
but
yeah.
So, yes.
Yeah, but I cannot give you a
I
straight
appreciate
definition.
that. Appreciate that. All right, so first thing I'm going to say is go to Instagram. You don't have to do it now if you don't want to, and it may be on TikTok too. Yellow Pain, a rapper named Yellow Pain, P-A-I-N. This guy gave the best explanation of Congress that I have ever heard, and he did it in a rap. So I would say, number one, go to him, check him out. Here's what it is, right? So there are two areas, okay? There's the national and there's the state. And I think about it like, and each one has its own set of governance and rules. State has a set of leaders and governance and rules. National has a set of leaders and governance and rules. So two things. There's somebody that makes the rules, somebody that executes the rules, and somebody that tells you whether or not you're doing right. The legislature is supposed to make the rules. The executive is supposed to execute the rules and get it done. And the Supreme Court is supposed to tell you whether you got it right. So the justices. That is at the state level and at the federal level. Does that make sense so far? All right. So, but here's what it really boils down to, and then I'm going to come back to that. All of this is about the allocation of resources, right? At the end of the day, somebody is deciding who gets what. That's it. Now, it may be who gets what money. It may be who gets what military force. It may be who gets the right of way. It may be who gets clean water, not clean water. It may be who gets what resources. So all the folks are deciding. Now in Congress, what we're saying is, I'm too busy to go and do a whole lot of talking. I'm too busy to make the rules. So I'm gonna, what's your name? Andre. So I'm gonna say, hey, Andre, I'm gonna tell you what I want to be done, and I want you to go to DC and spend all your time to make sure that what I'm asking to be done gets done. That's Congress. What's supposed to happen is Congress is supposed to talk to folks and engage with people and be in community and hear from them. And we're supposed to say, Andre, you got that? You clear? On data centers, here's what we think, Andre. On war, here's what we think, Andre. And then we go about our life, and Andre goes up and makes the rules. Legislator, Congress makes the rules. And he's the runner. There you go. There you go. That's all it is. That's Congress. And in this, so we elect him, we choose him, and they go.
Who was his position? What would his position be?
He would be the one I'm running for.
No, he would be Congress.
He would be Congress.
Okay. And
yeah.
we tell him
now let's say LilRockObama, Diedrich, is the CEO. So he takes the rules and he makes it happen. That's the president. That's the governor. They're the ones that are saying, well, okay, I see all these rules. I'm supposed to build a highway in southwest Arkansas. I'm supposed to fix the food desert in southwest Little Rock. I'm supposed to make sure that we have high quality education for every person. And that CEO, LilRockObama, is going to make that happen. So Sarah is supposed to make sure that we have, Sarah, the governor, make sure we have quality education everywhere. She's not doing that.
So, okay, Sarah.
Yeah.
And let's plug you in.
Yeah, plug me in.
Since you're running for Congress. Okay. So, just like you said, he would be the runner. If you win, you would be our
Yep.
runner.
Yep.
So, Sarah's supposed to gather whatever, come to you to run it?
Oh, I see. So let me tell you one other thing. Go to Schoolhouse Rocks, because they got a great breakdown. Yes, you're right. And let me try a different approach. This is a good exercise. You tell me what you want. I go, oh. Y'all take care, appreciate it. I go make the rules, and then yep. I'm already in Congress. Yep. And you say no more qualified immunity. I make the rules. Now I'm going to forget Sarah. We're going to go to Trump because he's the president. So now Trump is supposed to follow those rules that I made, that you want. You want it. I make it, he follows it. Supposed to. Now, if he does follow it, I say, great job. I come back to you and I say, we did it. If there's a question, if you think we didn't do it, but you think we did do it, then we go over here to the Supreme Court. And they're the judges. They say, well, here's the Constitution. Actually, you didn't do it. So now you got to fix it. That's really what it is. Now, the part of it, though, is if the president doesn't do it, not only am I supposed to come back and tell you they didn't do it, but I'm supposed to stop him. I'm supposed to make him do it. And that's why they call it check and balance. That the legislature, the representative, is saying, this is what you were supposed to do. I'm asking all the questions to see if you did it. And if you don't do it, I'm supposed to put you in check. And not one of our current Congress is putting any of them in check. There you go. Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Because, we get in it all the time. And then yeah. Yeah.
That person is
Yep.
supposed to go back to the mayor and the governor. That person is supposed to go back to the mayor and the governor and tell the issues that's in your area or your neighborhood. If that person is not going back and speaking for you, a lot of things won't get done in your neighborhood because there's not nobody to speak for you.
Right.
So if that person's not willing to speak for you and come back with a report, as the community, you should be willing to get that person out of there.
That's it.
And get somebody that's going to speak for
That's
you.
it.
Because we don't have the power to go to the mayor, the governor. I'm saying we do have the power, but I'm taking it back. We don't have the time. They're getting paid. The ambassador's getting paid to go speak for you.
That's what they're supposed to be there for.
To go talk to your community. So when you're voting, just don't put somebody in there because they're your friend. If they're not out saying, hey, 12th Street got a big pothole in the middle of it by the stop sign and it's busting our tires, if they not willing to go down there and say that, y'all might want to reinvent who you're voting for because that's the way I was taught chain of command is supposed to be handled. And I'm going to say this one other thing, brother, and I don't want to offend nobody.
That's all good.
I don't want to offend no sisters. I don't want to offend no people of white descent, Arab descent. One of the problems in our community is us black men not showing up.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this room, there's more women here than us men.
Yeah.
And that's one of the major problems. Until we start showing up,
Yep.
nothing's gonna change. They're gonna look at us like we're not saying nothing because of woman power. Forget what I'm saying, sister, because it's not disrespect. But a woman's power only reaches so far until us brothers get to these meetings like you're having now, so that we can understand what's going on and help assist, get down there and vote the right people in. It's not going to change. It's not going to help. So all your brothers that's listening to LilRockObama,
Right.
and when you was on the show, they need to understand we got to come out and vote.
Got to. It's a must. We
When
must.
something's going on in our community, instead of having somebody to fight, we got to stand there and fight and make sure they're coming to fix these potholes.
Right.
Start reporting them, ain't doing it. So if you start recording them, hey, this is what we did last month. It ain't been fixed. This is what we done 6 months ago. It ain't been fixed. That's an issue. One of the things I see in the school, I'm a welder, I'm a fabricator. When I try to hire young men to come help me, they can't read tape measures.
Yeah.
That was taken out the school
Yep.
system.
Yep.
That stuff is what's going to help give people jobs and help them better with their business. Now, everybody's not a computer geek.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody's not going to have an office in the computer. Some of these guys need to know how to read a tape measure.
Yep.
They got to know how to take a nail and hammer and put it
Exactly.
through it. And they can't. Some things need to be put back in the school. They can afford to build new prisons and work us
That
for
part.
free and make money off of it. Take that money and put it back in these schools. Get these kids books and tape
Yep.
measures. Because the community can do it, but we can't enforce it if they're not making them doing it. We can buy the books, we can buy the tape measure, but if they're not enforcing it, it's pointless for us to buy that stuff. And I'm glad you're here. I really am glad you're here because I said in order for me to stand, I got to show up.
Yeah.
And that's what all of us men gonna have to do is start showing up.
Yep.
And I'm done with that. I appreciate you and thank you, LilRockObama, for having me here.
That's spot on. That's spot on. I mean, and that's what we're saying. Like, look, at the end of the day, we're making choices. You got to show up and make that choice because somebody is deciding. Somebody is saying, no, I'm going to take these resources and build a prison. Or I'm going to take these resources and build the top school from pre-K to beyond and better than any in the world. Somebody is making that decision with or without you. And that's where we come in. Now, I'll tell you this. It's in some ways, you remove civic education from school. Now people don't understand how that there's local, which is most important. There's regional, municipal, then there's state, then there's federal. And each one of them has a structure to allocate resources. Sometimes it goes up, sometimes it goes down. And the best person, the number one, was it grandmother? Grandfather, who told you to vote for local? Who told you to vote local? Somebody you said. Okay, so to your point, the alderman is probably going to be how many people to vote in the election? Just rough number. No, okay, so 7,000 people. For that one ward, 7,000 people, right? 7,000 people, you can go talk to them. We have there were more than 7,000 people at the Defeat the Beast, the rodeo. Right? So you can have a conversation. In basketball games got more than 7,000 people. Beyonce, I mean, she think about having a concert and we got 7,000 people show up. Right. So the point being that local is where you can really have a conversation. And then as you get larger in terms of number of people you represent, then you got to start to think about, okay, well let me get a group of people together to make a decision. Do we take a couple more?
We're gonna get ready to wrap it up.
Yeah.
The $1 million question.
$1 million
$1 million question. You just got in office.
Yeah.
what you gonna do? What's the first 3 things you gonna attack? Like, you got the budget to allocate. What are you doing?
Yeah, for number one, like I said, is that in constituency services, engagement. Like you all should be able to come to my office with your concerns, and right now you cannot do that. So that's immediate number one, and probably even before day one. A way for you all to get to me and me to get to you and keep the communication open. Then it's a long list. It's John Lewis Voting Rights Act. It's to start to map out how we make sure that we have renters' rights here in this state. It's looking at minimum wage, which hasn't increased in Lord knows where forever. It's stopping this man from having us in a war with Iran. It's stopping these tariffs, because these tariffs, he decides whenever he wants to put a tariff on a country, and now my T-shirts, my shoes, my bananas cost 20% more because he decided to put a tariff on. So stopping that tariff, it's a lot, man.
But those will be your
those
top
will be the
priorities.
top ones. Yeah, it's a lot.
All right. Any last concerns? Anybody?
Right here.
Where else?
Then I'm gonna tell y'all how to reach me.
How you doing?
How you doing?
I'm great. So I have a question.
I see that Knicks shirt.
You know.
Oh yeah. There you go, Knicks and 5.
So my question is, thinking about some of our other brothers and sisters who are felons,
Yes.
who have completed their sentences,
Yes.
who have completed their debt to society. What are we doing about getting them back voting?
Yeah.
Because a lot of them do not know,
Yep.
and I know a lot of felons, a lot of them do not even know they can go back to vote.
Yeah.
So where do you stand with making that more accessible to our former felons,
Right.
which I prefer to call them, to get them back voting and understanding the voting process?
Yeah.
Because at the same time, the rhetoric of your vote does not count is sold to them during their time.
Yep.
For them to come back out here to the streets and tell their children, little homies,
Yep.
or whatever, your vote doesn't matter, because they don't even know they can go back to voting.
Yep.
So where are you on that?
I mean, it should be easy, and it should be automatic. Once you come out, as soon as you paid your fines, done your time, you should automatically get your voting rights restored. I think when you get a driver's license, you should get your voting card. Like, easy, boom, like, let's go. So that's kind of where I stand. It's not complicated. Now, I think your point, we don't know, we're not educated, so we need everybody letting people know that if you have done your time and you paid your fines, you can get your voting rights restored, period. And I'm constantly running into folks who are learning that for the first time, and they get excited. Now, I'm just real quickly before we get over there, I want to go back to his voting rights. It's critical. Our the most fundamental right we have is voting, because that's us saying I am choosing Andre, I'm choosing whoever, or I'm choosing to ban the box, or I'm choosing this and that. That's voting. There's a small set of folks who have been attacking voting rights because they don't want people of color to vote. No offense to my white brothers over here. They only want wealthy, land-owning white men to vote. And there are people that actually believe that. I believe all of us should be able to vote because we all live in a society together. And that's what we have to fight for. And when I say they're trying to take away voting rights, they are actively trying to take them away. And just recently they came out of their mouth and said women should not be able to vote. That's a problem. And that's going to happen, though, if we don't show up, if our ex-felons don't get registered and vote, if our men, black and all colors, don't show up and vote. All right, last one.
Just letting her know, because a lot of people don't. It's not being condescending or anything, so don't think that when I say this, because I have a way of saying things and people take it the wrong way. As soon as an individual has completed his or her parole or probation, what they need to do is go to their parole or probation officer, get their discharge papers, take their discharge paper to the courthouse. Here in Pulaski County, it'll be to Terry Hollingsworth. She will point you to which room you go in. You will give them that paperwork, fill out your paperwork, and it's just that simple. You get your card mailed to you. It's not difficult at all. No.
Yeah.
No. It's nothing. It's nothing to pay for. It's just that simple.
Let, Good. Simple.
Just go see Terry Hollingsworth, and she can help you get that resolved.
Yep.
If you paid your fines, you served your time.
Get it done now.
Just because you are a felon does not mean you cannot vote.
Right.
There is opportunity for you to vote, and to make sure that you do that because you pay taxes.
That part.
That stuff come out your month, out your check.
Every month.
You have a right and an obligation to get your just due.
Yep.
Go get yourself voted, baby.
Get it done. Let me say this real quick because Mary just passed to me. Somebody said, quote, "I don't do politics." And then the response from a woman named Lena Turner was, "Well, baby, politics is going to do you regardless." And then here's a great example. Voting 101. 9 people on a bus. 9 people on the bus. 3 vote to drive over the cliff. 2 vote to go get ice cream. 4 didn't bother to vote. Everybody dies. Let me say that again. 9 people on the bus. 3 vote to drive over the cliff. 2 vote to go get ice cream. 4 didn't bother to vote. Everybody dies. Like it or not, you're on the bus with everyone else. Make your voice heard. In this state, there were more people in Arkansas who did not vote than there were who voted over the cliff. So to me, that's the thing. We going over the cliff if we don't vote. So, all right. Look, y'all can find. Can I wrap up? All right. Find me on social media at Jones4AR. Please follow me. Repost, tag, say more about me. Go to our website at chrisjonesforcongress.com. chrisjonesforcongress.com. Check us out. Come to our office at 921 West Markham. 921 West Markham. Come to our office, get a t-shirt, get a yard sign, get a button, get a sticker, get a voter registration drive, get a commitment card that says, I commit to voting. I'm registered, I'm gonna register, I'm gonna vote early. I'm gonna tell y'all now, early voting starts October 19th. Election day is November 3rd. This election matters. We on the bus. Okay, we on the bus. The bus is headed towards the cliff. Now, the folks who voted for us to go off the cliff, guess what? They actually have a helicopter that's gonna take them out. So actually, they actually are going to be all right. We're going to be the ones left. Follow me on social media, Jones4AR. That's it. See what? Oh, sorry. Say, you need to slow down, huh? Man, look, I get real fast. My bad. Okay, Jones4AR. JONESFORAR. Jones4AR. Follow me on social media. If it's Facebook, it's Chris Jones for Congress. You want my website? It's chrisjonesforcongress.com. But when you follow me, I will follow you back. When you post, repost our stuff, amplify, share, like, we have to get the message out. And let me be real clear. I don't profess to know everything. In fact, there's more stuff I don't know than I do know. And I will often not be right. My girls remind me of that. My wife reminds me of that. I'm often not right. But I will always show up. I'll always listen. I'll always be willing to be corrected, no matter what. And I'm telling you, this election, my name is on the ballot, Chris Jones for Congress. This is about all of us. All of us. Whether you are a felon, an ex-felon, a single parent, both parents, married for 50 years, never married, black, white, no hair, purple hair. It's all of us. It's all of us in this. And the minute we realize that we are in this thing together, and that we decide we will no longer be divided, that's when we actually activate our power. Thank you all. I appreciate you. I love you. Let's do this again.
This here's another one for the steppers. DJ Wayne
Make sure
Williams.
you get some food.
DJ's playing our favorite crew. We stand to win the whole night through. And what do we do when we're all dressed up and in the mood? We stand to what a stepper's groove. Where do we go soon as the weekend gets here? The club. Why? To party and have some fun. What is it that can come and take away all your stress? Tell me. Music. No other questions, you have passed my test. Happy people, yeah, oh, yeah, yeah. Keeps the world turning, oh yeah, turning. I believe that happy people, yeah, oh, yeah, keeps us all dancing, dancing, dancing. Whoa, happy people. Now what do you do when a feeling has come over you? You let go and what? Let it take control. Ladies, what do you say when a gentleman asks you to dance? You say yes and then get on the dance floor. Even when it seems we're going through some hard times, what do? Keep smiling, 'cause we know we're gonna make it through. Now come and take away all your stress. Tell me, music. No other questions, you have passed my test. Happy people, yeah, ooh, yeah, yeah. Keeps the world turning, turning, turning. Oh, I believe that. Happy people, yeah, ooh, yeah, yeah. Keep us dancing, dancing, dancing. Happy people, yeah. Spot is where the party is all night, and everybody's having a good time. I wanna get nice, I wanna get live. Can you tell me where the spot is? Take me to that place where there ain't nothing but happy. Whoa, happy. Oh, happy. Ooh, happy. Happy people. Yeah, yeah. They keep the world about happy people, yeah, yeah, yeah. They keep the world dancing, dancing, yeah, dancing. Ooh, happy people, I know, keep the world stepping, yeah, stepping. Nothing but happy people, oh, yeah, keeps the world. All right. Now if you wanna step, you gotta play it by the rules. You gotta do what I do when I do what I do. If you wanna step, gotta play it by the rules. You gotta do what I do when I do what I do. Now, step to the left, step to the right, spin around and break it down tonight. Bring it on up, moving close, and let me see you and your partner stroll. Step to the left, step to the right, spin around and break it down tonight. Bring it on up.
Love and happiness. But wait a minute, something's going wrong. Someone's on the phone.